James Melendez. I'm going to talk about this amazing fragrance by Profumi di Firenze. Stay tuned for this review. So last year I was in Florence and Firenze, and I was really excited to be there. I was there for about 10 days, and that's the most time I've ever spent in Florence at one given time. So I really enjoyed staying in the headquarters of Tuscany, Toscano, and really going through and having so many great experiences. And I stumbled across this particular house, a very well-known house, by the way, and I like the characterization, and I think of fragrance many times, and the story of fragrance in terms of its near modernity is that it really comes to Venezia. It comes to a location in Italy where, or actually what would become Italy, and becomes something that is a focal point for the European courts, and then over time becomes part of the mainstream and becomes much more readily available for people to enjoy because the materials were very expensive, very hard to source, and in many ways today I think you find this great art form. So what we have before us is Brezza di Mare, which is breeze of the sea, or sea breeze, and it's from the producer Spezierie, Palazzo Vecchio. And this is actually not necessarily right on the Palazzo Vecchio, it's right near it. So it's just down on the western portion. There's a little pathway or a via, and you're gonna find this particular house right there. So they do home fragrances, they do personal fragrances, and for me, I went through there and it's really dazzling. There's so many fragrances, I'd probably say there's at least 4 dozen different fragrances or more. So I gravitated to this particular fragrance, and for me it was its characterization that was very youthful and energetic, and something that I just totally was enjoying. So this fragrance to me was very meaningful, and I took a gamble. I said, you know what? I have a big journey. I have 6 more weeks in Europe, going everywhere from Italy to Poland and Germany, and I thought, I'm not going to carry this because what if it breaks? And I took that big gamble because I thought, what if I don't find it? And luckily I did find it. I found it here in San Francisco at a really great house called Tigerlily. It's a retailer of independent fragrances, and Antonia is somebody I really enjoy talking with, and she's a fantastic person when it comes to fragrances. She really knows the fine art of fragrance. And I'm really excited she has this line at her store, and I'll put more information on her store down below so you can visit that if you're in San Francisco. I definitely recommend. If you're a fragrance fan like me, you're gonna definitely enjoy this place. So I think this is really, I love the bottle, I love everything about it, and for me it's more special because I've been there, and it really, when you see the bottle, it has this, I would say, a very 1970s feel to it, but I do like it overall. I really like the apothecary feel to that. I think that's really well done. And for me, I would like to describe this fragrance in terms of, first of all, 95 points out of 100 points. It is fantastic, and it really is a classic fragrance, and it really gives me that evocation of sea breeze. For me, I define that in terms of that salinity point, but also some really youthful characterization. Exhilarating fragrance, by the way. Let me put some on. I think this is just, and I'll put it on myself because I'm not going to put it on a strip. I really wanted to enjoy that. And you notice I put this on my ear. I've always done that, and it really doesn't really help out as much as you put this on your neck and your pulse points. Don't rub. I think a lot of people do that. It heats up the molecules. So I let people know, do you heat up your fragrance before you put it on? Of course not. You're going to heat up the molecules and you're going to change the characterization. Let it go onto yourself and let your chemistry express this fragrance the way it's going to. I think this is a really handsome, gorgeous fragrance that is just evocative and old world and old-timey, and definitely love gourmands. I love the woods. I love oriental characterizations and floral notes as well. One that I don't really enjoy is powdery notes. And for me, this is not powdery at all, because if it were, I wouldn't enjoy it. Every person has their preferences of what they like. But for me, it's a clean, fresh, exhilarating, invigorating characterization. It's almost what I would even call an optimistic fragrance. It's really looking forward and may look back to other things. So I remember my journey to Firenze, to Florence, and for me this is really encapsulated in this bottle here. It is really amazing. So in this I'm getting bergamot notes. Additional notes on this include Amalfi lemon, so those big giant lemons that you find in the Amalfi Coast. Sea salt is really evident here. White flowers of gardenia, a bit of calla lily, and yes, calla lily in my opinion does have a fragrance. It has a touch of what I call a buttery note. So which is a very curious note for a flower. White rose is on here, but a very, very small amount to this. Cut grass, aqueous notes, as well as ozone. Ozone, that beautiful characterization after it's rained. And so a freshness to this. And also I would even say Champagne Cave. So in 2016 I was also in Champagne, and for me that journey down to a cave is remarkable because when you're there it has of course the calcium carbonate. Basically it's crushed seashells, and it's always moist and it smells amazing. A slight sweetness to it, a bit of salinity to it, and that's what's captured here in this bottle. Fantastic. 95 points out of 100 points. Do me a favor, share this video, subscribe to this channel. Questions and comments down below. I'll put more information on this producer down below, as well as information on Tigerlily, the San Francisco retailer where I purchased this particular bottle. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. Sante.